The candle in the storm. In a bustling city where skyscrapers touched the sky and people hurried through their daily lives, there lived a humble candle maker named Mr. Lee. His small shop, nestled in a quiet alley, was filled with candles of all shapes and sizes. Each candle was meticulously crafted by Mr. Lee, who believed that a single flame could bring warmth and light even in the darkest of times. One stormy evening, as thunder rumbled and rain lashed against the windows, a young woman named Emily rushed into Mr. Lee's shop. She was soaked to the bone, shivering from the cold, and her eyes were filled with despair. Mr. Lee greeted her with a warm smile and offered her a seat by the fireplace. "What brings you out in this terrible weather?" Mr. Lee asked gently. Emily sighed and looked around the shop, her gaze falling on the array of candles. "I feel like my life is falling apart," she said, her voice trembling. "I lost my job today, my rent is overdue, and I just don't see any light at the end of the tunnel." Mr. Lee listened patiently, his eyes filled with empathy. He then reached for a small, unassuming candle and placed it on the counter. "Emily, let me tell you a story," he said, lighting the candle. "A long time ago, there was a great storm that plunged an entire village into darkness. People were frightened and lost, unable to see even a few steps ahead. In the midst of this chaos, a little girl named May found a single candle in her home. She lit it and, with its small flame, began to navigate through the village. As May walked, she shared her light with others, lighting their candles one by one. Soon, the entire village was aglow, each person carrying a candle that guided their steps and brought them together. The storm eventually passed, but the villagers never forgot how that one small flame helped them find their way in the darkest of times." Mr. Lee paused, letting the story sink in. "You see, Emily, sometimes life can feel overwhelming, like a storm with no end in sight. But even a small light, like this candle, can make a big difference. It can guide you, provide warmth, and help you find your way." Emily watched the flickering flame, its gentle light casting a warm glow in the shop. She felt a sense of calm wash over her, and for the first time in a while, a spark of hope ignited within her. "Thank you, Mr. Lee," she said, her voice steadier. "I think I needed to hear that." Mr. Lee smiled and handed her the candle. "Take this with you. Whenever you feel lost or overwhelmed, light it and remember that even the smallest light can conquer darkness." Emily left the shop with the candle in hand, feeling a newfound strength. Over time, she found a new job, made new friends, and even started helping others who were struggling, just as Mr. Lee had helped her. And so, the lesson of the candle in the storm lived on, reminding everyone that no matter how dark and difficult life may seem, there is always a light within us that can guide us through.